Now on Nightside, the issues amplifying Spokane's housing crisis as low-income housing vacancies remain at a standstill.
The next round of rain is just a couple hours away. I'll help you plan your weekend around the wet weather in your First Alert forecast.
Our sports team has been all around the area tonight, gathering the best local football highlights. Stick with Nightside to see the plays of the night in our Friday Night Sports Extra. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. And thanks for staying up with us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dice. We hope you're not tired of the rain just yet because there is more on the way. Chris Crocker is here with what you can expect for this wet weekend, Chris.
Yes, especially the first part of the weekend. Maybe a good Saturday to sleep in. Here's a look at our satellite and radar right now. We are seeing a very light rain, really just a few sprinkles working their way across the Columbia Basin and starting to approach Spokane. It will be a while before we see that precipitation actually reaching the ground. Our forecast radar brings that shower activity in around 1 a.m. and then we'll see things picking up in intensity tomorrow morning. Those darker greens on our forecast radar indicating the heavier precipitation. Things really get going in the afternoon with the possibility of some isolated thunderstorm activity. Right now, it looks like the best chance will be south of I-90, although an isolated rumble of thunder over the higher terrain of North Idaho is also possible. That 4 News Now First Alert weather app, great thing to download and keep handy. It will warn you if there's lightning nearby. By 6 p.m., we are really drying out more significantly, just a few sprinkles left behind. And then Sunday, much drier day. Some morning fog to start the day, and then a possibility of a few sprinkles, a better chance of showers late Sunday and into a wet Monday. More rain on the way for Tuesday before we see a drying trend. Our overnight lows tonight will be above freezing, and we'll be hitting those early in the overnight, just after midnight. A warm front coming along with our rain will take us all the way up into the 50s and even the 60s in some locations, upper 40s in Bonners Ferry and Sandpoint. For Sunday, 53, a 30% chance of rain. Most of the day will be dry. That's your best chance for dry weather, and you get an extra hour. We set our clocks back Saturday night into Sunday. A gloomy and wet start to the work week, but we finish strong and colder at night. Temperatures back down in the 20s, down below freezing again as we get into the end of next work week.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating because we know there's such a great need, and we know that people, are suffering as a result of that.
Tonight, the need for low-income housing continues to outpace demand. In Spokane, there's a 3-year wait list to get into low-income housing. And that waiting period is the same as it was a year ago, which begs the question, what's changed in 2023?
4 News Now went to Community Framework, which develops low-income housing, to get answers. Community Framework tells us on any given day, they have upwards of 200 people waiting for a housing unit to become available at one of their 8 properties. Part of what's driving this issue is the lack of housing inventory, and there are several construction projects underway to add more diverse housing to Spokane, which could drop the price of rent. But until those are done, families with below average incomes will continue to feel the pressure.
We know families are doubling and tripling up. So we have, multi-generational families that are living in one house because they can't afford to rent a house on their own, or let alone buy a house.
There are about 7,000 low-income housing units in Spokane. That number has to double in order to meet the current demand.
A man is now behind bars tonight after police say he commandeered a piece of heavy equipment in East Spokane.
Can you just stop the vehicle and talk to me some more?
Never too late to do the right thing, officer. I realize you're on camera, right?
You're under arrest.
Right, you're on camera.
You're under arrest.
Police say the man inside that rubber track crawler was Matthew Cook. They say employees at a machinery business called after he refused to leave. He then climbed into that vehicle and drove over a fence. One officer jumped onto the crawler, as you saw, and yanked him down. He now faces charges including burglary and vehicle theft.
Wild video there. Some local organizations want all former Washington prisoners to cast their ballots next week. Because of a new law that took effect last year, the voting rights of convicted felons have been automatically restored in Washington. Former prisoner Curtis Robinson says voting rights are a part of the healing process for those who want to reconnect.
When you look at the successful reentry back into society of our justice-involved populations, that is one of the critical key foundational components that needs to be there, is that social connection, that social engagement.
Robinson says voter education needs to continue for members of the community with criminal records.
Spokane County voters are also being asked to vote on funding for a new jail and other criminal justice projects. If Measure 1 is approved, the sales tax in Spokane County would increase by 0.2%. That's 2 cents for every $10 spent. To learn why supporters say this money is necessary and why critics call this a blank check for a broken system, you can look for our voter guide on KXLY.com/forthepeople.
And just 4 days until Election Day, City of Spokane voters are being asked if they'd like to ban camping near schools, parks, or playgrounds. Spokane police say if Proposition 1 passes, they cannot respond to these calls as often as they'd like.
Many of these will likely end up going to the homeless outreach team as well. So the short version is we will plug them into the queue based on the priority of the call and what else is occurring within the city.
The department says officers are busy and violent crime takes top priority. The department is currently short about a dozen officers. You need to get your November ballot into a drop box before 8 o'clock Tuesday night.
And as results start to come in, 4 News Now will bring you live updates throughout the evening on our free streaming app, KXLY Plus. Make sure you download the app on your connected TV for in-depth coverage on election results Tuesday night, and watch KXLY Plus all day for live updates, breaking news, and weather every 10 minutes.
The Gonzaga men's basketball team took the court for the first time this season. The Bulldogs hosted Lewis Clark State College in an exhibition game tonight.
It's a new era for GU, playing their first game without Drew Timme in 4 years. Julian Minnesota joins us now in studio. And what'd you make of the new look Bulldogs?
Well, I was waiting for a big, tall guy with a mustache to walk out of the locker room. Didn't happen. So it's going to be kind of weird because Timme time is officially over. It's a transition year for Gonzaga. There are a handful of fresh faces and some key returners too, so chemistry could take some time. Tonight was all about working out the kinks before next week's season opener. Gonzaga great John Stockton was back in the arena for the first time since his season tickets were pulled for refusing to follow COVID restrictions. Stockton on hand to watch his son Sam Stockton play for Lewis Clark State. But tonight was about this guy right here. Big man Graham Ike for the Zags. The Wyoming transfer sat out last season with a leg injury, but it didn't look like it tonight. Ike slams it home there. He led the Zags with 24 points. Now, here's another newcomer for Gonzaga. Eastern Washington transfer Steele Venters dunking on the whole team. He was impressive. Now we go to the second half. Zags already up a lot to a little. It'll be freshman Dusty Stromer off the miss in transition. He's going to find his buddy Nolan Hickman as Gonzaga absolutely runs away with it in the second half, 96-58. Not many complaints from head coach Mark Few.
I think it was great for our guys to be able to get out and play in front of the home fans. And yeah, I think we did a couple things better than what we did in the Baylor scrimmage, so that was good. That's good that they addressed those and took them to heart. And you know, I liked how we came out. We came out with great defensive intensity and did a really, really nice job of taking care of the ball.
Now, Gonzaga opens the regular season a week from tonight against Yale. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock at the Kennel. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesota, 4 News Now Sports.
All right, Julian and the rest of the sports team has been all around the area tonight, gathering the best local football highlights. Stick with Nightside to see the plays of the night in our Friday Night Sports Extra.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington Trust Bank.
Crime is skyrocketing, and the homelessness crisis is just getting worse. When will it be enough? I'm Kim Please, running to make our neighborhoods safer and to help those in need. Vote Kim Please for City Council President.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
He's got the stars.
Yeah.
The studs.
I don't remember a time in my life I didn't watch his show.
And the unexpected.
I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, new weeknights on ABC.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive contains ALA to relieve nerve aches and B-complex vitamins to fortify healthy nerves. Try Nervive and try Nervive Pain Relieving Roll-On.
Ooh,
stuffed up again?
So congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Just Sinex? Breathe. What is... Wow. Sinex? Breathe. Ah.
In the heart of the Pacific Northwest, where hard work meets rugged beauty, there's a family that relies on the best. Relies on powerful Kubota tractors and personal equipment support. They stand for hard work and dedication, shown in their pastures and animals. From fertile valleys to steep hillsides, Adams Tractor is here to support the backbone of the Northwest. We are your trusted Kubota dealership, with 5 locations to serve your needs. Visit adamstractor.com.
The race is on to save thousands during the 72-hour kickoff sale at Cal, where they are marking down rigs to sell fast, plus delaying all payments until next year with a complimentary 2-year service maintenance plan included today through this Sunday at Cal.
I'm Kim Please, running for Spokane City Council President. For safer neighborhoods, a vibrant downtown, and people in need getting real help. That's my vision for our future. Vote Kim Please for Council President.
4 News Now is brought to you by Post Falls Volkswagen.
Well, there's a trending story online that may be on your mind this weekend, the end of daylight saving time. Apparently, it's better for your health. That's according to local health experts.
Returning to standard time and getting that extra hour of sleep is much needed relief for the majority of Americans, you could say. Our bodies have several clocks, a body clock, a sun clock, and a social clock. All of these align, they say, when we're on standard time.
It really is best for our body to get that extra hour of sleep. When we get more sleep, at least more than 7 hours, it is better for mental health. It helps us recover from sore muscles, from exercising.
And while some people are excited for that extra hour of sleep, many, like me, aren't looking forward to the darkness that comes with it. Find out how you can make the transition as smooth as possible, though. Just look for this story on KXLY.com.
It's heated. A mobile home park in Spokane Valley has warned residents about a PFAS contamination in its water well.
Now, PFAS, or forever chemicals, are known for their hazardous effects in both humans and animals. Residents were given a notice about the contamination just a few days ago, but the letter says the water was tested in June, and that means the water has had PFAS in it for months, and the residents had no idea. Now, look at this. This is water coming from a faucet outside one of the mobile homes. That's the same water this woman has to bathe in and brush her teeth with. Property management handed out a letter that advised residents to buy bottled water or a carbon filter, but many of them just can't afford that. One resident says property management is of little to no help at all.
I feel that they need to take action. And so far, we haven't seen anything. I haven't even received a call. I leave long, detailed messages, please call me in regard to this, and they don't. And when I finally got a human being, he was absolutely rude.
Property management says it's working with the city and Northwest Water to find a solution, but as of now, there is no timeline for when it will be fixed.
Tough to look at that water. Well, some big news to a story that we've been watching closely for months. A major traffic headache finally over.
Yeah, that Maple Street Bridge construction, is now complete. That means the bridge is fully open. Hallelujah. Crews finished replacing the top layer of concrete and were even able to do some joint repairs without adding more time to the project. The cost of this project, $4.7 million. Well, around the Northwest now, 3 passengers of a flight diverted to Portland are suing Alaska Airlines, saying they suffered emotional distress when an off-duty pilot allegedly tried to cut power to the engine mid-flight. The lawsuit claims the airline and its operator didn't properly evaluate Joseph Emerson before he was seated in the jump seat in the cockpit. It also claims when the engines were tampered with, the plane dramatically pitched forward as if it were in a nosedive, saying if the airline had been more vigilant, Emerson would not have been in a position to, quote, nearly kill everyone aboard. Alaska Airlines previously said the crew saw nothing that would have prevented them from letting Emerson fly. All right, we had a number of high school football teams competing in state playoffs tonight.
And a few others looking to clinch a spot in the postseason. Julian Minnesota and Alex Crescenti join us in studio. So guys, what can we expect for what could be one of our last Friday night sports extras?
Yeah, it's bittersweet, but a lot of action, a lot of top plays tonight, even though the games are a little few and far in between as we get less and less teams in the season here.
That's right. We get into the first round of the playoffs in Washington, getting down to it. A spot in the semifinals over in Idaho.
Yeah, we're going to have it all on FNSC after the break.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news.
We are Grocery Outlet, and we are your Bargain Bliss Market. What's Bargain Bliss? You know that feeling you get when you find the name brands you love, but for way, way less? That's Bargain Bliss. It's Grocery Outlet's 20% off wine sale going on now through November 7th. We have hundreds of wines sure to pair with any gathering. So act now because this deal won't last long. Stop in and save today.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
The most important issue in this mayor's race? Crime and public safety. I'm Nadine Woodward. We cannot let Spokane become Seattle. It's why I increased police patrols, opened new precincts, and got dangerous offenders off the streets with our Violent Crimes Task Force. My opponent? She's helped fund criminals and is supported by anti-police activists. I'm proud to be endorsed by law enforcement. I'm Nadine Woodward, and I approve this message. Let's make crime illegal again.
Walker's Furniture is celebrating Veterans Day with big double sales tax discounts or no money down, no minimum purchase, and 5 years no interest financing.
Making it the perfect time to improve your home for the holidays at Walker's.
The race is on to save thousands during the 72-hour kickoff sale at Cal, where they are marking down rigs to sell fast, plus delaying all payments until next year with a complimentary 2-year service maintenance plan included today through this Sunday at Cal.
As a mom, I just don't feel safe taking my kids downtown anymore. And Paul Dillon, he wants to allow homeless encampments near our schools. And he supported policies that prevent police from pursuing domestic violence offenders. Paul is just too extreme for Spokane.
I'm Katie Treelor. I'm a mom, a teacher, and the only independent candidate running for Spokane City Council. I am running to make Spokane safe and clean for everyone, and I'm asking for your vote.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Washington Cares Fund.
Welcome into Friday Night Sports Extra. Julian Minnesota here, Alex Crescenti to my right. Man, playoffs.
Yeah, we're coming down to it. We're going to lose new teams every single week now. In Idaho, they're starting the quarterfinals. Washington, the first round of the playoffs there. You know, it's a bittersweet moment.
Yeah, finish Friday is the F word this week because teams don't want to be finished. The teams are also trying to finish strong.
Right.
We had one team in Idaho that's looking to go the distance. Sydney Berger, we're going to bring her in. She's been covering the Idaho playoffs for us. What about the games tonight? What can you tell us about Coeur d'Alene over there?
Yeah, guys, you guys are going to like this one for sure. The Idaho playoffs did kick off tonight, and there were some really good games. We're actually going to start off with Rocky Mountain traveling out to Coeur d'Alene. Both teams trying to keep their season alive for at least another week. And neither team was going to go down without a fight. The Vikings have the ball here in the first quarter. Handoff to senior running back Owen Harris, going to set up Coeur d'Alene in the red zone. And then this is going to be third down. The Vikings almost find themselves in some trouble. A completion to receiver Joe Hagel looks promising until Rocky Mountain defense not only stops the Vikings short, forces a fumble. Coeur d'Alene's going to get to recover it and cross the goal line on that fourth down. Owen Harris going to get to sneak in there for 6, and those are the first points of the game. But Coeur d'Alene again is going to have the ball up next, and the Grizzly defense was ready to make those plays. Just one of their many great hits from their safety, Hayden Thompson. He says, nope, Not tonight. So Rocky Mountain will get a turn. It's quarterback Trey Broadbent looking for his man down the sideline, and his pass is going to be tipped by a Vikings defender. Really just a defensive talent show in the first half till the Vikings find themselves in the Grizzlies' territory yet again. Screen from quarterback Caden Simons to Hagel put the Vikings up by 2 possessions before the end of the first half. Coeur d'Alene just gets to keep going. The Vikings defeat the Grizzlies 24-8. They'll live to see another week. And then here's another playoff matchup on our radar tonight. Sandpoint season's going to come to an end after they fell to Pocatello at home. The final score for that game, 44-23.
Well, thank you, Sydney. In Washington, one of the state's top programs, Gonzaga Prep, got their playoffs started in a district matchup against Sunnyside this evening. Second quarter, a slow start for the Bullpups. They're down 8-3, but that changes in an instant. Jonah Keller takes the handoff, goes virtually untouched for the long rushing score. G Prep on top for the first time tonight. It's hard to keep that rushing attack down for long. Ensuing drive for Sunnyside, they're going to have to punt away, but it's blocked. And the Bullpups are there to fall on top of it in great field territory there, deep in Bears territory. Offensive goes right back to work. Nate Monet gets the call, gets tripped up by the defender. He would keep going if he just kept his balance. But at the goal line, it's going to be Keller, gets the nod again, somehow sheds that initial tackle, puts his head down into the end zone, extends the Bullpups' lead. They hold on late to win this one 38-28. They'll be headed to the round of 16 next weekend. Up to Union Stadium now for a 1A playoff. Chelan traveling across the state to take on Lakeside. First offensive possession for the Lakeside. They're going to be in the red zone. Calvin Mickelson with the keeper, going to take it off and just pushed outside before he reaches the end zone. But it doesn't matter because on the very next play, he takes the design run up the middle, crosses the plane for the game's first score. It would be all Eagles all night long. Chelan not doing a whole lot of offense tonight. They're going to have to punch it away to the return man, and that's maybe a mistake even off the bounce. Look at this. Gets a couple nice blockers. Ignore maybe the block in the back there, but it's all good. He gets pushed out of bounds eventually there. You can't see it, but out at the 10-yard line, so say the refs. From there, Brandon Nine punches in from 6, and the Eagles rolling all night long. They take this one 42-7, remain perfect on the season, looking for a state title.
Now to some games from Thursday night. Ferris Saxons hosting the Southridge Suns. Ferris will start out with the ball here, and it was a wet one on Thursday out there at One Spokane Stadium. John Olson fumbles the snap. Southridge recovers, but Ferris will get the stop and get the ball back ultimately, and here they are trying to make something happen on the offensive side of the ball. Olson is going to make a nice play to escape the defense and some tackles. He's going to find his target for Reed Lawal, but Lawal has the ball stripped as Southridge takes over again. The Saxons, they had a ton of missed opportunities in this game. Ferris falls 26-7. Also from Thursday, the Wolfpack of North Central hosting the Grandview Greyhounds. First quarter's where we pick it up. Grandview with the ball. Thomas Elliott, watch this, comes up with the interception, reads the play like a book. Wolfpack take over on offense. Now, Elliott also plays quarterback for his team, but he probably wants to forget about this next play. Elliott sacked by Grandview as they recover the fumble. He was knocked on his behind, but North Central, they would bounce back rather quickly. Wolfpack with the ball again. Elliott connects with his buddy Matthew Campbell, and Campbell says, hey, Thomas, I'll take care of the rest. No one is catching him. He's going to go all the way for the score. Touchdown for 6. North Central ultimately wins this game 28-8.
You know, those games were played at One Spokane across the street last night. We're not seeing a single game tonight for the first time in almost 2 months.
Yeah, we were spoiled when that first opened. We had our stadium special, a bunch of great games, but there's going to be some more games there in high school seasons to come, that's for sure. On the other side of the break, we're going to have your top plays, and it's a first on top plays from this year in high school football. Stick around.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
All month, we will surprise you.
Weekdays at 2, only on 4 News Now.
It's country music's biggest night, the CMA Awards, live. This is a dream come true. With performances by Kelsey Ballerini, Luke Combs, Jordan Davis, The Warren Treaty, Ashley McBride, Cody Johnson, Hardy, Morgan Wallen, and Post Malone. Plus, a can't-miss Jimmy Buffett tribute featuring Kenny Chesney with Mac McAnally, Zach Brown Band, and Alan Jackson. Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host the CMA Awards live Wednesday on ABC and stream next day on Hulu.
The race is on to save thousands during the 72-hour kickoff sale at Cal, where they are marking down rigs to sell fast, plus delaying all payments until next year with a complimentary 2-year service maintenance plan included today through this Sunday at Cal.
What do I love about working at Move Fitness?
Every day is different.
Helping people achieve their goals.
It's just a fun group of good teammates. And it's a positive place to work at.
There really isn't a better gym.
Move Fitness is the best.
Join the movement.
Expect even more from KXLY Plus. Live updates from the 4 News Now team. Breaking news as it happens. Weather every 10 minutes. Free on your time. Download the app, connect to your streaming TV, and connect on KXLY Plus.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Property crime increasing. Shootings in our parks. Homelessness crisis getting worse. Spokane, it doesn't have to be this way. Safer neighborhoods, a vibrant downtown, and people in need getting real help. That's my vision for our future. I'm Kim Please, candidate for Spokane City Council President. I'm a new voice for Spokane, and I'm asking for your vote.
Well, I promised it before the break, but this is a first that we've had on Top Plays this week. They're all coming from the same game, which is the first time. We're going to start with you, play number 3.
I'll take the play 3 of the night. It goes to North Central's Thomas Elliott. Elliott comes out of nowhere to make the interception. A great defensive play for the Wolfpack. It's always good to get the points, but, you know, we need those key moments from the defense, and you'll see it there one more time. Thomas Elliott again, North Central is going to end up winning that game.
Yeah, read the play like a book.
Play number 2 comes from the same game, like we mentioned. Elliott's going to be dropping back, but he is met by Alejandro Garcia Diaz. Huge hit there. Let's go see that again. That's the kind of hit that you are going to be feeling the next morning. Just completely blindside. Left tackle should be ashamed of himself there, but hey, huge hit for Alejandro.
Ultimately, though, North Central gets the last laugh. Our top play of the night goes to North Central's Matthew Campbell. He made up for the big hit. Campbell is going to make the catch and make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see it. 6 defenders miss on his way for the score. 6 defenders miss on the way to 6 points for Matthew Campbell. Now, this was the big turning point in the game on Thursday night as North Central ultimately took down Grandview 28-8. Mr. Campbell, top play of the week. Now, it's going to be interesting because we don't know if this might be our last Friday Night Sports Extra of the year. We got to wait to see what the playoff schedule looks like, how many teams are in after, heading into next week. But it certainly has been fun if this is our last one so far.
Right, you got to cherish every moment there. We have plenty of good teams in the area that will be hosting. It just depends on when those games are going to be. A lot of those games are on Saturday because you have the cross-state travel. So we're just going to have to wait till Monday or Tuesday.
2 teams that play tomorrow to keep an eye on. Mount Spokane, they play their playoff game tomorrow. Ridgeline as well. Both teams have had excellent seasons so far. College football also big this week.
Yes, Washington State, it's a must-win scenario at this point. If they lose here, bowl games in serious doubt with Colorado and UW looming there. So you got to get the win against Stanford. Defense has got to get it going. Offense looks like it's going, but 13-point favorites? I don't know.
You have a prediction?
And we're still questionable with the running back situation, I'm sure. So we say the offense is looking good, and then we kind of remember that piece of it. But I'm hoping WSU can pull it through. It'd be nice to see them go to a bowl game.
There you go. Wishful thinking from 2 Cougs right here. 6 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. We'll be there, have coverage for you on 4 News Now. We're going to return right after the break. Stay with us.
Download the KXLY Plus app for weather every 10 minutes. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
I met Anidas 10 years ago. He didn't have bad credit, but he just had no credit to begin with. I took the time to really go over some options with him. Fast forward 10 years down the road, he's got his business account with Numerica. He's looking to buy a second home also with Numerica.
In the heart of the Pacific Northwest, where hard work meets rugged beauty,
There's a family that relies on the best, relies on powerful Kubota tractors and personal equipment support. They stand for hard work and dedication, shown in their pastures and animals. From fertile valleys to steep hillsides, Adams Tractor is here to support the backbone of the Northwest. We are your trusted Kubota dealership with 5 locations to serve your needs. Visit adamstractor.com.
Walker's Furniture is celebrating Veterans Day with big double sales tax discounts or no money down, no minimum purchase, and 5 years no interest financing.
Making it the perfect time to improve your home for the holidays at Walker's.
The race is on to save thousands during the 72-hour kickoff sale at Cal, where they are marking down rigs to sell fast, plus delaying all payments until next year with a complimentary 2-year service maintenance plan included today through this Sunday at Cal.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive contains ALA to relieve nerve aches and B-complex vitamins to fortify healthy nerves. Try Nervive and try Nervive Pain Relieving Roll-On.
Ooh, stuffed up again?
So congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Just Sinex? Breathe. What is... Wow. Sinex? Breathe.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
All right, Monster Truck fans, are you ready? Monster Jam is at the Spokane Arena this weekend. The action actually started tonight. You can check out Gravedigger and the rest of your favorites all weekend long. There's 3 more shows. This will feature 4 major events and competitions. World champion drivers and their 12,000-pound trucks will battle it out, showing off their speed and skill. We talked to Ashley Sanford, who will be driving one of the fan favorites, what you're looking at right there, the Megalodon.
Each time we're in the trucks, we're going to give it our all. We're going to bring everything we can, especially once the fans bring the energy too. It becomes contagious.
Fans will be able to catch a special competition preview at the Monster Jam trackside, which starts about an hour before each show. We have details on how you can get your tickets inside this story on KXOY.com. Don't forget those noise-canceling headphones.
And keep in mind, around Spokane are not in monster trucks.
No.
Okay, I saw some people tonight. Hey, we had a special guest appearance at Logan Elementary today.
Hey, can you say that with me? There was noise! Oh my gosh, you guys are just as loud as the Who's.
Students got a close look at the mean one himself, Mr. Grinch. He decided to make a pit stop to prepare for his show, Grinch the Musical. The Broadway show comes to First Interstate Center starting November 10th.
All right, tonight we soar high over the McKenzie Conservation Area in Newman Lake.
The area includes upland evergreen forests as well as wetlands and 2 streams and springs. Let's go with this week's Air for Adventure.
We're at the McKenzie Reserve by Newman Lake.
It's a big enough tract that you can get into the woods and it's quiet back in here. And you also get a bunch of little ecosystems. On the south side, sunny side, you got the ponderosa pine. And then in the shady sides, you've got the Doug fir, and you've got some cedar in there. And then down by the lake, you got some cottonwood trees and some open meadows. So it's really a nice piece of property with all different kinds of terrain in there. It's great. In the winter, it's a good trail for cross-country skiing, miles of trail. When the other times of the year, the horses, there's enough room here to have horses in here. And it's just a great variety of walks here.
And you can get down to see the lake, and that's nice.
You can also, we access it from the water and come around from Lake Newman and then come around into it that way. So it's nice.
You get up there on the walk and get a good view of the lake and watch the birds. There's eagles out here nesting.
Yeah, and there's osprey, a bunch of wild ducks, and that if you're out on the lake, it looks kind of like a turtle basking in the sun. Rock that's been sculpted when the lake was higher. There's several old beach lines, so it's got it's kind of been undercut, and it's a large rock, but it's as big as a house.
The being out in nature. You know, just being out.
Yeah, you get to slow down, and there all you hear is the whining of your dog.